Hey everybody, Krystal Gamer here with part 2 of our Outdoor Retreat Challenge results video. I am not going to go through my whole introduction today, I just want to get straight into it. So if you missed the introduction, I'm going to direct you to go to check out part 1. I'll make sure that the link is below and at the end of the video. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check out that first, especially because we are going to have the results and the winners at the end of this. So you definitely want to see part 1 before you see part 2. Now, before I go into the review of everyone's that's left, I want to hit real quickly on one that we looked at yesterday. This one is by one of our new participants. Stangmix2 is her name. I had talked yesterday about how I thought that this image might have been the winning image if it was just taken a little bit differently. I felt like this one had potential. The build is so good, the landscaping is so good, everything about it is so stellar that I felt if the image was taken a little bit differently that it may have been the winning shot. And so I wanted to show you guys what I meant, because I really think that comparison sometimes helps especially for learning photography, so that you can see what to do versus what not to do type stuff. That was a lot of how I learned. So I decided to go in and download Stangmix2's build, which is beautiful, by the way. And here's what I was talking about. So all I did was I changed the camera angle a little bit, and you can see the difference on this versus this. We're kind of disjointed here. We're kind of, where's our topic? Where's our focus? When we have it done like this, we know what our topic is. We know what our focus is. We know we're looking at the fire and the fireplace, and we know that the eye is supposed to follow up the path to the house. Now, there is one part of this photo that I had to change. There is something in this that I had to change because my eye is being drawn and it doesn't need to be drawn. So can any of y'all guess what the element was that I had to change? If you guessed the picnic baskets, you would be right, Yogi. There's beers in the picnic basket. No, but no, seriously, the baskets, when they're white, draw the eye to such a degree. The baskets are not the focal point, right? So we want them to look like this because the baskets are a supporting element. They're a prop to help tell the story and all of that. But really, the focal point is the fire and it's the house and all of that stuff. She chose the white and the blue with the baskets because they better match the house and the whole build. But this is not necessarily about the house and the whole build. It's about the presentation, right? It's about the image presentation. What can we see here? And with what we can see here, brown matching the logs in the tree, where it's sort of the picnic baskets kind of blend in as a prop rather than a focal point, is the better way to go. So I just wanted to hit on that before we go back into the rest of them, and now I'm gonna just cut over to the rest of the review. Next up, we have Laura is Simming, and her entry says, "The woods camp is perfect for a broke group of friends, that's great, a family short on money, or someone looking for an adventure. It's a campsite for those who want to experience true nature." Which would not be me, by the way. I require electricity and running water. I will go camping, I go twice a year, but I must have electricity and running water. Those are my hot water. Those are my requirements. So if you consider that camping, which most people don't, then I don't actually go camping, but you know, hey. Anyway, look at this. This is so cute. This is so adorable. Now, I love the little campground and everything, and it's very cute. Her landscaping in the front. I love this whole segment of landscaping in the front. It's really cool. But this here, I want to pan this camera over to the right and center it down the entrance of the path and all of that stuff, so that I can see the squirrel or whatever the animal is. I want to be able to see him completely. He's blocked by the tree a little bit. And so, yeah, I would have gone straight on photographically on this, but design-wise, this is so adorable. The landscaping is fabulous. Loving it. This next image, we have one lighting here, so we're not all over the place on lighting, which is good. It's good to have, if you can manage consistent lighting, whatever the lighting is, if you can manage it consistently, so it's not very high contrast, that's helpful. And this is so cute. And she's got a great line on these tents going up too. There's a nice diagonal in this image that's going up too. Lines in an image really draw your eye. And I know I mention lines a lot, and there's a reason for that. It's because they really draw your eye. And so great use of the outdoor retreat elements all over the place here. I mean, everything from the light posts to the tents to, she's using outdoor retreat elements all over the place. So super cute. You know, a little place for eating and all of that stuff. So that's very cute. Her last image, though, is probably my favorite. I feel like this image is the most well balanced of her images and the most kind of, I don't know, inviting. It's a very inviting sort of exterior space. So I loved this one a lot. Next up, we have Carrie Plays, and she says, fancy a winter break before the rush of Christmas? Then come stay at the log cabin retreat. The view is great, the snow just might fall, and you could be cozy and relaxed either by yourself or with your special someone. So that's pretty nice. And look at this place. Oh my God, I love this. All right, so let's talk about the brilliance of doing this in the snow because of what it is, right? Like it just fits in the snow so nicely here. The roofing element, oh my God, is so cool. Like that is to die for. Y'all know how I feel about roofing. So loving the roofing element. Love this build in general. I love water features. So she's hitting several things that I love in this. Now, photographically, I'm telling you guys, I'm on the photographs today because I'm seeing all sorts of different stuff. So photographically, we have a half of a sort of almost diagonal. So here's the thing. When it comes to symmetry and asymmetry in photography or any kind of composition, any design, really anything, whether it's interior design, photographic composition, architectural design, any design, it does not matter. When it comes to symmetry and asymmetry, you must commit. You must commit to one or the other. So you're either going for symmetry or you're not. If you go halfway, your viewer is left questioning what you're doing. And so this here, there are two ways she could have taken this image. She could have either gone straight head on, right up the path, let our eyes go straight into the path and do a perfectly symmetrical photograph straight on into it, or fully commit to the diagonal and give us the lines, the diagonal lines going in. But this is it's sort of catty-cornered off to the side a little bit, and it's not, anytime you halfway commit to a line and you're not all the way committed to it, or an asymmetric measure and you're not all the way committed to it, your viewer is left wondering, did you do that on purpose or not? And you never want your viewer to question whether or not you did something on purpose. You want everything in your photographs to be intentional. Of course, you're not photographers, so I'm teaching this like a photography class, but nonetheless, y'all know, like, you can take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. It's sim photography, and we don't expect anyone to be photographers. I'm just trying to hopefully convey some stuff, and hopefully you guys like that. Okay, so on to the next image, and I should preface the rest of Carrie's by saying that I liked her build so much, especially the roof thing. It intrigued me so much that I had to download her build. And so because of that, Carrie, I apologize to you because you have sort of become my victim du jour. Because I downloaded your build, I did like my own photographs of it. And so because you gave me good material to work with. So that being said, it's good stuff. At least I hope it's good stuff for you. So onto this photo, and I'm going to talk photo more than design on this because I'm just going to say straight up, I love your build, love the design. So the photography is the thing I want to hit. So number one, on this photo, about a quarter of the top of the photo is ceiling, and ceiling is light. In this game, unfortunately, we can't get away from it. We can't do beautiful wooden, log home ceilings and stuff like that. If we could, I would say photograph them, go for it. Unfortunately, we can't. So that means try not to photograph ceilings. The other thing, massive perspective distortion is not generally appealing, visually appealing, and especially to a photographer's eye. So if you can condense images down, like, don't be afraid to sacrifice stuff if it's not important. Like, is the door important? Is the window important? Can we sacrifice those elements? Can we maybe condense things down a little bit? And the other thing that's good to know about this, the habitat that is sitting in the front with the orange rim, Orange and red are colors that the human eye is drawn to the most. It's why our stop signs are red. It's why our caution cones and caution signs are orange. It's because we visually are drawn to those things. So photographers learned pretty early on never to include orange or red unless you really mean it, because you know your viewer's eye is going to be drawn there. So with those three things in mind, I want to show you my take on this. So you can see I changed the habitat. I moved the habitat and the little bear piece so that our eyes wouldn't be drawn to the orange. I also added a light on the opposing wall to light up the little fishy awards, the end of the bed, and the bear face and the thing that he was on, and just to cast a warm glow over the room as a whole. And here you can tell how beautiful the design is. We can see that we're in a loft, and we have great lines that the bed, the railing, all of that is flowing into each other the way it should be. And so next up, we have her kitchen area. And again, we get an overhead view, and I cannot stress how difficult it is to photograph lofts. So, and I understand the impetus to do this. I've done this myself, and I've even done the super wide angle stuff. But if you can maybe change things up and look at different perspectives, you might find something that showcases your stuff even better. And in this case, I played around a little bit and I came to this here, and I think that this showcases it better. We have the lines from the loft and the kitchen counters and the table all going together. We can see now here the kitchen and the living room, and the living room is beautiful. And the whole thing is just it's a very cohesive design. It goes well together, so why not show off more of it? And we're also able to see here that we do have a loft as well. And I managed to not cut off the railings or the feet of the tables without the tables and chairs without going super wide perspective. So hopefully that comparison is a little bit helpful, and hopefully it showcases her build off a lot more. And then we get onto her last image, and we have this cute little deck area, and I love that she used some kind of flooring that makes it look like snow. I think that that's pretty cool, and she's trying to show the view and all that. But the thing is I did a different take on this because I felt like the front of her build was a more powerful element than the deck was. Like, I wanted to showcase more all of her water features and the beautiful landscaping out front and everything, and show that it was a view. So this was my take here, and I switched to summer figuring the water would be more inviting in warmer looking weather, and obviously we get the view because I'm on the lot in Windenburg. So anyway, that's probably enough torturing Carrie for now, but I hope that you guys can see how good her build actually is. It's an awesome build. So all right, on to torturing someone else now. And next up we have Happy Sim Egg, who says, it's a small cabin in the woods for a lovely couple that want to celebrate the holidays. Make a campfire, snuggle on the couch, or barbecue your heart out. Enjoy the view from the lookout. So this is great, isn't it? I love this little design. This is so homey, cozy feeling. It's very cohesive. It's a great little design, and it's done well photographically and all of that stuff. Love it. This here, she mentions enjoy the view. So she's not really showing any outdoor retreat stuff here, but the view is great. Love that she showed us the view. I'm happy about it. This next one is cute. It's an overhead view. So obviously we have some kind of open kind of loft area here. We can't see exactly what it is, but I like that we can see that there is one, and we get the overhead view. I like the living room in particular on this, but it's a very nice kind of cozy, lodgy place. The outdoor retreat stuff in general to me is so great on the whole cozy, lodgy thing. I love it for that. I think it's really fabulous for that. And this last image, she shows us the whole thing here. And so this is kind of nice because we can see that she's got a nice path leading in. She's got a cute little, we get a better idea here that the top was where we were getting that view from. So there's a top section of this house, and I guess you can go up there or of the build, and so you go up there and you get this beautiful view. And I love the water feature on the left, and fabulous landscaping and everything on this. I almost would have maybe wanted the camera pan down a little bit more, but I understand that she wanted to kind of show us the overarching, So sometimes, we have to make some decisions here and there. But just overall, I love this build. I mean, it's so cute. Everyone did such an amazing job on the builds themselves. And I think that that's why, like, and I'm an outdoor photographer too. And I think that that's part of the reason why, like, this one for me, it's all about the photography this time for me for some reason. All of you did such a good job with the outdoor retreat items themselves and the actual builds that it almost kind of had to be the photography this time, separating it. So in any case, next up we have Lyrene35. And Lyrene's tweet says, "This is the wind me down cottage. Get away from the hustle and bustle of city life. No TVs, radios, or computers, just you and nature. Create a masterpiece, go for a swim, sit by the campfire, or play a casual game of horseshoes." And look at this place. Oh my God, this is so cute. I am dying. This is so cute. I don't know what she did with the roof, but it almost looks in this photo, it almost looks like it's moss covered. And I think the majority of, if I'm not mistaken, I think almost all of the vegetation and stuff that she's showing in here is from Outdoor Retreat. I know that the little white flowers in the front are from Outdoor Retreat. I think the other ones are as well. And I'm pretty sure these trees that she has around. So I think that this is using a lot of Outdoor Retreat landscaping elements, which is super cool. And just, I'm like dying at how absolutely adorable this place is. Like, it's just so cute. It's crazy. So, all right, photographically, I want to talk about this one too. She centered us right on the path leading in, and we have another path to the right that gives us a great dynamic line. It adds another diagonal, and it creates a dynamic on the image. She has the rocks, the big rocks on the left. It's adding weight to the image, but it's in the darkness, right? So it's not that important. And then she's got the trees on the right. It's adding the balance on the right. So the rocks add some weight on the left, the trees on the right add some weight. And then everything with the line in the front takes us down to look straight at the house, at our focal point. The only distraction in this image at all is that she's got a light section on the left, which she couldn't have gotten rid of. But that's the only distraction. She could have maybe panned the camera right a little bit just to not have that distraction. Because again, the eye is drawn to the bright areas of the image, you know. But I love this image. Like, it's so well balanced, and y'all have to be able to tell when you look at this. Like, you should just look at it and feel harmony, if you will. It's the composition is very harmonious. It's very well balanced. Okay, so next one up, look at this. Oh my God, she's got the cutest ideas. This is so great. Look at the round element, like the round roof thing element that's like below the deck. I love that. That's so cool. And of course, there's a ton of Outdoor Retreat elements used on the left. That's really cool. She's got several things like the picnic table and stuff on the right as well. So she's using a lot of Outdoor Retreat. I love the deck space. It's great. Now, one thing that we talked about a little while ago, though, was contrast and having a lot of high contrast in an image. If you can help it, if you want to highlight something, like, to me, this image, she's trying to show off the entire image. In other words, she's trying to show off the back of the house with the deck, the pool, the picnic table, all of that stuff. And she's also trying to show off the whole deck area on the left-hand side too. So she's trying to show off everything in the image, but yet it's almost split down the middle, with half of it being in super bright light and the other half being in darkness. Now, or not darkness, but in shadow. Now, I think she brightened this image to try to compensate for the darkness on the right. And what ended up happening was it ended up being over bright on the left. And so high contrast is a very big deal for photographers. It's a very difficult situation for photographers. You really try hard not to have high contrast lighting in images because it's very hard to handle. You can, with some advanced techniques, sort of change the exposure a little bit in Photoshop and, you know, kind of brighten up the shadows and, you know, darken the brights a little bit to balance that out a little bit more. But unless you know advanced photographic editing, you're probably not going to be able to brighten for the darks without over brightening the brights. So that's just something to keep in mind as well, because here we have a perfectly lit, perfectly exposed right-hand section of an image and an overbright left-hand section of an image. So when you have that much high contrast, you almost always end up with part of it overexposed and part of it underexposed. So if you can avoid super high contrast, and we have control over lighting in Sims, so you can actually, if you want to take the time, and I understand not everyone wants to take the time. Again, just giving feedback, not like, I hope everyone takes it like as a learning thing, not as me trying to be like picky or whatever. So next up, look at this. Oh my God, this is so cute. I love the fireplace thing. Like every one of you that did like a fireplace thing, and the ones that gave me night shots, like I love like all of you. Like it's so good. It's so adorable. I don't have anything to say about this photographically either. It's just good the way it is. It's nice. And this next one, this is so Lyrene. This is so Lyrene. It's very neutral. It's very it's very cohesive. It's very well balanced. It's yeah, from a design perspective, this is very Lyrene, and I love it. I love her stuff always. She's a fabulous builder and designer. So okay, next one up is Legasimmer. And so she says, welcome to the 3-level chalet. Cozy and warm, you and your family will enjoy looking out on the river through the living room glass walls, while a fire roars in the chimney. Maybe avoid the below ground terrace when it snows though. So this is great. Look at this. Oh, I love the mirrors and all of this. I love that we can see kind of the other side of the room and everything with the mirrors. And it's just, again, it's that cozy, lodging look that outdoor retreat stuff really lends itself to so well. And same thing in this image. It's a beautiful, cozy look. I love the fact that she included a fireplace. That, of course, adds to it. And yeah, it's just a lot of cozy going on. And there's the glass windows. So we have those there. And so this is interesting. So this is the lower terrace. And we can see because she's got the rocks going around and everything. So yeah, this is the area we want to avoid when it snows. But I love it. It's so cute that it has a lower terrace. That's our second build now that we saw with a lower terrace, because Diana's had the lower area as well. Kind of interesting little dynamic design. And this one here, this is my favorite image of Legasimmer's. This is so good. So good. This is actually, she ended up being last, and it's kind of a cool thing. It's one of the best images of the day, in my opinion, from a photographic perspective. She's using a ton of outdoor retreat elements. I think even that tree is the mighty hawthorn tree, which is new from outdoor retreat. And pretty much, I think almost everything in this image is outdoor retreat elements. But from a photographic perspective, there's a lot going on like right and correctly here. First, the tree has given us good balance on the left with the guy on the right. They're almost like equidistant apart in the image. Like if you were to draw a couple of lines in the image, they're almost perfectly balanced. The lighting is great. The brightest lighting is on the guy. That's where we want our eye drawn to, right? So the lighting is fabulous in the image. It's drawing us in right exactly where we're supposed to be drawn in. And it's well balanced. It feels cozy. It feels harmonious. It just feels very, very good. And she's got one opening too in the logs that let us see the fire, that let us see the guy. So it's perfect in that. Like it's your line without actually having a line, but it's your line where you're drawing the viewer's eye in, right up in between those two logs, right into the guy, which is exactly what you want. And then to me, next after that, your eye goes to the light and the cooler and all of that that's in the front. The cooler might be like that. Maybe she could have done without it entirely. Actually, the image may have even been stronger without it, but this is probably the best image. It might be the best image of today, possibly. I might have to like do a look through all of them again, but just kind of off the top of my head, I think that this might be the best overall image of the day. So I have gone way over time here today, to the point that I may have to split this video in two, but I'm hoping that all of the photography instruction was helpful. I have noticed that you guys that have been playing for a while with me, I'm seeing improvements. I hope you guys are seeing improvements. I know I'm seeing improvements. And so I hope that the stuff's helpful. And I hope that, especially the newbies who maybe have not been exposed to all these videos before, I hope that you take it in the light that it's meant to be taken in when I do the critiques on the photos. So in any case, I'm going to try to go through the awards pretty quickly since I've kept you so long with the other stuff. So without further ado, the Achieve the Achievement 3rd place award goes to Green Retreat by Ancha Cinnamon Sims. Diana. Yeah, I just love this one. I know I didn't talk to this one too much photographically, and that's really because it's great. It's just straight up a great photograph. It's well balanced. The path leads us in nicely. It's well lit. You know, everything about it is just very nice, and it's a great use of the outdoor retreat items and all of that. So yeah, love that one. So that is the 3rd place. For 2nd place, I've got to give it to Legasimmer for the campfire image. And y'all know I've already talked my fool head off about how much I love this shot and why. So we know why that one's going to Legasimmer. And then for the 1st place, Achieve the Achievement, I couldn't help but give it to Lyrene35 for the Wind Me Down Cottage. This image for me this is such a great sales pitch for outdoor retreat. She's actually using, I think almost all of the landscaping is outdoor retreat, but the photo is so well balanced. And oh, by the way, she has the bench, the signs, and all of that stuff too. But the photo is so well balanced. It's so well done. And I mean, tell me you couldn't see this as a painting somewhere. So it's just very well done. So I had to give this one to Lyrene. But I tell you what, this one was so hard because so many of you had such phenomenal builds. It really came down to the photography this time because, I mean, it was just crazy with Mena's nutty, awesome treehouse and Carrie's unique, cool triple roof thingy. And I mean, y'all just... Sim for Design with the interior rock fountain thing. I mean, really, y'all just blew me away. This challenge turned out to be, in my opinion, probably one of the best we've had yet. I was just blown away in general by so many of the different ideas, the Mount Rushmore thing. I mean, so many of the different ideas in the build, y'all just really outdid yourselves. And so I had a lot of fun with this one. And I hope you guys don't mind that I went really heavy on the photography perspective. I'm hoping that that's more helpful than anything else. And if you did enjoy this, please do remember to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. You know how much that helps us YouTubers out a whole big bunch, and I appreciate it a whole big bunch when you do it. And yeah, thanks so much for spending the time with me today. Don't forget that the vote will be out. The next poll for the next pack we're going to do is going to be out on Twitter. So don't forget to check my Twitter feed for that. And yeah, hope to see you all back with me again next time. Bye now.